I need you all to understand how painful this is going to be for me, guys. It's really rough. It took me a while to get around here. But hey guys, welcome back to General Rule 16. I am your host Javon, and today we're back with a brand new video. It's another benchmark week today. Today we're testing out the Intel Core i3-7100U, just like I promised you guys in the community tab. Unfortunately, um, my 4 gig stick kinda just didn't work anymore. So I decided, I'd one up it. And instead of doing 4 gigs, we're doing 2 gigs of memory at a speed of 2133 megahertz. That's right. We're gonna try to run some of these games today with only 2 gigs of RAM. It is going to be painful. I know. I already cried myself to sleep last night just thinking about it. Now, once again, the i3 has a 2.4 basic speed. We have the Intel HD 620 integrated graphics, which with 2 gigs of RAM probably is going to suck. We have an SSD here, which is the boot drive, and then we have another SSD which will carry all of the games, so it's not running on the same one. I needed everything to give me a chance with this, okay? I even have memory cleaning my RAM every time it hits 90%. But nonetheless, I think you guys want to get into the benchmarks and see how this runs, don't you? I really don't. Let's get into it. I'm scared, but don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe if you guys enjoy seeing me suffer like this. Let the pain begin, I suppose. First up, we have Hades, running at 540p. There's no other settings for Hades. It's just running at 540p. It seemingly runs quite well on 2 gigabytes of RAM, although those 1% lows are brutal, which they will be for every single video. And in case you were wondering, hell no, I'm not running any of these games at 720p. I have 2 gigs of RAM, guys. Give me a break. This is a disaster already as it is. So most of these games will be run at 540p or lower. Some might run at 768p depending on just the way the resolution works in some games. These are a lot of older games, so yeah. But Hades is playable. I will say that. Even on the 2 gigabytes of RAM, the CPU is working extra hard because of this, but it does run nonetheless.
There she is. It's got to be her. Here goes nothing.
Hail, noble cousin.
Can't hear me all the way where you are, goddess. But thank you. I'm hurt. Can't heal myself. But I can fight.
Just to put out there, I did try Bright Memory Infinite, which would have been the newest game on this list here today. Clearly, it did not run. Moving on. Tomb Raider 2013 was a welcome surprise. At 540p low, the game did manage to stay above 30 FPS on average. You have to keep in mind, as I said before, the CPU is getting hammered simply because it just doesn't have the RAM capacity. Also, the SSD and CPU are just working way too damn hard, so I keep running into bottlenecks that even if I change the resolution, it would not alleviate. In fact, it probably would make the frame rate even worse because the GPU is close to maxing out as it is as well. So when I was to adjust it, I just lose frames, so it didn't help out. But regardless, this is running at over 30 FPS, so even at 2 gigabytes of RAM, Tomb Raider 2013 is playable. Watch Dogs, I'm not gonna lie, it had me in the first half. It got all the way to the main menu. It got all the way to me launching the game, actually launching into the story, and then it just completely froze. I was like, oh damn, I guess this ain't working, huh? No, it just crashes after a few seconds here. So Watch Dogs not playable either with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Shocking. Dragon Age Inquisition, up to this point, this was most egregious. At 1024 by 768 on the low preset, Dragon Age Inquisition is telling me, bro, why are you trying to play me with 2 gigabytes of RAM? Like, seriously, this is not playable. And I've actually tested this already with 16 gigs on this system. Works completely fine. With 2 gigabytes of RAM, this is not playable at all. Those frame times are ridiculous. Look at that 1% low at 2 FPS. The average, there is constant stutter in this game. This is the first one that I can say completely, other than ones that just didn't start up at all. This is not playable. Don't try this with 2 gigabytes of RAM, guys. Just stop. Batman Arkham Origins was also recommended, but I won't lie to you, I kind of wish I played City instead. At 1024 by 720 by 40, what am I saying, on the low preset, the game is hovering over 30 FPS, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and imagine the second we hit out to the city streets, that frame rate is going to tank like ridiculously. So this one is not playable. I wouldn't recommend this with 2 gigabytes of RAM, guys. Once again, I installed all these games with the hopes of running with 4 gigabytes, and instead I only had 2. So I still tested everything with 2 gigs. It's nice that it launches at all, but 2 gigs will cause a crazy amount of stutter in this game, especially when we get outside. So just keep that in mind.
You're not supposed to be reading.
Who tore this place apart?
I don't know what it is. It's huge.
Where is Black Mask?
I don't know. He's here for Commissioner Loeb. Maybe one of his men knows where he's headed.
This is an emergency situation, and I am assuming command. Security personnel at GCPD.
These are Black Mask's men. I'll make them tell me where I can find Black Mask.
Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition was a choice I made. It was definitely a choice. A bad one. At, once again, 540p on the lowest settings, this game is not playable whatsoever. Definitely should have tried the original one, but once again, we were trying for 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now, what I'm seeing here is this is a CPU bottleneck as well as a RAM bottleneck. Everything is hitting the fan with this game. So it just won't be playable. It's unfortunate, but the original, you'll probably have better chance with that one. Eh? Remember Me is one of those games where it's just terrible to try to change settings in the game simply because they don't work properly and it just crashes you to desktop. At 800 by 600 or 600p, running on the lowest preset, the game is playable here. As you can see, once again, due to the lack of RAM, the CPU is being hammered. The CPU isn't great to begin with, so the CPU is going to get hammered here. These types of games I recommend capping to 30 FPS, sometimes even 24, just to maintain a consistent frame rate because those frame times are ridiculous. But regardless, this one is playable. The 1% loads, like I said, are going to be terrible no matter what.
Unattended patient in restricted area. Coercive unit deployed.
The passage on your right. Take it.
Castlevania 2 Lords of Shadows also falls into the whole settings thing mess up. So with this one, we're running at 640 by 480 on the medium preset, so 480p. This one is also very playable. It ran smoothly enough with the 2 gigabytes of RAM. I didn't have much issues here, so we're gonna just call this one a win. This is the first time I've actually managed to get this game running on PC. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was running nicely. 2 gigs of RAM. Would have done better with more. Would have done better in dual channel. Guys, get dual channel RAM. It's better. Don't do this. Don't make me suffer like this anymore, guys. It sucks. Devil May Cry 2013 is the final one on the list. This one was quite surprising to me. This one still runs quite well as well. There are some stutters in this one as well though. But at 540p on the low preset, the game does play over 30 FPS on average without much issues, and that's about it for that one. So, what did you guys think of the video? Leave your feedback in the comments down below. But if you did enjoy, please don't forget to please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and stick around for more epic content. I will test the 4 gigabytes probably in the UHC 630, but more videos are like this are more to come in the future. I did enjoy this, so even though it was painful and it hurt my soul to do, but I did enjoy doing these types of videos. So I will do comparisons as well to 4 to 8 gigabytes and whatnot. It's gonna be interesting, so stick around to the channel, guys. It's a new age for the channel. I will see you guys next time.